Welcome back to the Mod Ventures YouTube series, Entrepreneurship Uncovered, a series where we interview a variety of up-and-coming and experienced business owners to hear their stories and draw wisdom from their experiences.
I am a true believer that when you align yourself with your purpose, success comes.
Hi, I'm Gabby Luma from Mod Ventures, and today we're here for another episode of Entrepreneurship Uncovered. And today we welcome Lisa Warman. Hi.
Hi, thank you for having me.
I'm so excited to have you. We were just talking like ahead of time, and I'm like so excited about all the different things that we have to talk about today. So you're like a breath of fresh air. I'm just so excited.
Thank you. I'm excited to talk about it with you.
Good.
I'm excited to be here.
Good, awesome. So tell us all about your business and what you do on a day-to-day basis.
Sure. So my business is based in interior design, and I use the techniques of feng shui, astrology, and tarot to personalize the service. I have been into interior design for about 20 years now, and I've also been an energy healer since 2007. I'm passionate about both, and so I wanted to figure out a way to really incorporate them.
Feng Shui is new to me. I mean, I've heard of it, but I'm not really sure what it is. So can you tell me what that is?
Absolutely. So Feng Shui is a very ancient practice, and how I use it is I use the Bagua map. And so the Bagua map is a 9-pointed map, and basically each place in your home has an energy center. So when you walk through the front door, if you envision your home broken down into 9 sections, there's a energy section for love and relationships, success and money, helpful people. So the list goes on, and each energy section has a element and a color associated to it. So it's really about putting the right elements in the right places to enhance your well-being. I'm not so strict with it. I'm actually pretty loose. And I think that's really important because I think energy work is a feeling. I think your home should provide a feeling and also be a conduit to enhance what you want from your life.
Right. Well, yeah, definitely. I totally agree with that. I mean, every fall, we were just talking about this too, like every fall I go kind of crazy and decorate, like, because it's my favorite time of the year, and I want it to feel like family time in a place that we can come and just like congregate and be together. And so I totally agree. Like, there's something to definitely making your home that place. And bringing all those elements to it. You were telling me that you do a lot of different things as well, and I know that you were part of our wedding, our family wedding, Becca's wedding. Did you bring elements of feng shui to the wedding as well?
Yes. So when I meet with a client and when I met with Becca, first I just gather a sense of the vibe and the basic aesthetic of what the bride and or event organizer wants. So with Becca, it was very earthy, very natural, and I tried to incorporate a lot of earth elements into her wedding. And also I looked at the space she was getting married, and in my mind kind of mapped it out like a Bagua map, and where her sweetheart table was actually the love and relationship. And I thought that was very important because obviously that's where they sit with friends and family surrounds. So
Okay, good. Very cool. And I mean, phenomenal wedding. I cannot tell you how much positive feedback we got from everybody and how beautiful that turned out. You guys did an amazing job. So thank you for doing that for us. Well, for her, but for us, because it was a family thing, It was so, and I hadn't been to a wedding in years, and so it was like the funnest. Is that like even a word? I shouldn't be. The most fun I've had in a long time. So thank you for contributing to that. It was awesome.
Absolutely. It really helps when you have a bride with great taste. So, yes.
She does have good taste.
Yes, absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. A little bit about other ventures and other things that you're doing.
Sure.
You mentioned managing kind of the retail side of a couple of different locations. So tell us about that.
Okay, so aside from my business, I'm the retail director for Creations and Sky and Sand Boutiques. So this company started in 1971 on 4th Avenue. It was a little India import shop, and the owners of the shop are from Tempe, and they just wanted to try something in a very bohemian space. So they picked 4th Avenue, and
Perfect.
yeah, it was perfect. And later, they started a wholesale company. They started making clothes back in the day for like Mervyn's and all of those.
Wow.
Yeah. So just some big box companies, and then over the years, their wholesale business grew, and they decided that they wanted to incorporate their clothing into a boutique. So in 2010, I was hired to take over the company and to transition it from what it was, India Imports and a outlet store, to a boutique and grow the business. So I started out with one store on 4th Avenue. I opened a second store on Speedway in Wilmont on the east side of Tucson.
Okay.
Third store in Tempe. Fourth store in Ocean Beach, California. Fifth store in Pacific Beach, California. We opened our sister brand Sky and Sand last year on 4th Avenue, and we have an e-commerce store. So yeah, I am the retail director, like I said, so I oversee the retail chain.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, that's like a lot of different wheels turning, and it's really exciting to, like speak to somebody who's talking, who's working in or with people in so many different locations, because that's a lot of what we do. So what are some of the challenges of managing stores remotely? What have you come across?
Well, number one, and probably the most important, is when you have one store, you have a sense of control. And I have always been very big on that. I really liked to control the financial, the visual, all of it. And when you have 6 stores, you really have to trust your people.
Yeah.
So for me, the hiring process is so important. I really look for qualified people who come from big box companies, because they carry with them a lot of really great operational and I would say morale and ethics. They have a lot that they've already learned, and they can really apply that to the business, because at Creations, I now have given up control, and not all of it, but I have to give it up to the store managers, and they're really able to run their business like an entrepreneur. So I always tell them, what you put into the store is what you're going to get back.
Yep.
And I feel like giving somebody that kind of responsibility is really beneficial, because they know it's on them.
It's empowering.
It is.
It's definitely empowering. And I think that when you give that autonomy to somebody, they have the ability to make it great and be like entrepreneurship or intrapreneurship, right? Like they can make it really awesome and see it grow and contribute to the company in a whole different way. So I think that's really exciting. I love that you mentioned trusting your people, because I think when you're scaling your company, that's probably one of the hardest things about growing is the hiring part and figuring out who you can trust.
Yeah.
It
is.
I could say that's been probably one of the more challenging parts of growth for us.
I agree.
Yeah.
And with me, the hiring process is very thought out, and it is a process. So usually people apply to our careers page, or, sometimes we get some applications and resumes through LinkedIn, or there's so many places.
Sure.
So I have a training store manager, and she goes through and she checks out all the resumes, and she knows exactly what we need for the company.
Yeah.
And there's different times that we need different types of people.
Yeah.
So she's pretty intuitive in that sense. So
Nice.
she will do a first interview, and then I do a second interview,
Yeah.
and I make sure it is the right fit. And then we go through 2 weeks of training, just very hands-on.
Wow.
We spend every single day with that person. We get to know them.
Yeah.
So
So important.
yeah, it is. And then we let go of the reins and let them go. And I always say it takes about 6 months to a year for someone to really get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think when you have a strong culture, which it sounds like you guys do, you've really built systems around building that culture and that right fit. And that's something that we've worked really hard on doing too, which is really cool that you're doing that. The culture part of it, I think, is the hardest part for some people to get. You know, it's like, and that's are you going to really fit long term? And it does take 6 months to a year to say, you know, yes, I like the company culture. I feel like I fit. You know, anybody can come in, and I don't mean anybody. You know what I mean? It's not like anybody can come in, but if they have the right skill set, they can do the job. But are they going to be able to fit in the actual culture of the company?
Absolutely, and I always look for that. And what I think it is just passion. If somebody believes in the brand, and if they have a passion for what they are doing, I know they can succeed.
Yeah.
And you know, if you want a job where you can just go to work 9 to 5 and do your thing and clock out and not take work home with you, working for me is probably not the best idea.
Oh my gosh, you sound like me.
I really am selective with my team,
Yeah.
and I want us all to have a common goal. I'm the type of person that's always looking at the next step. So hiring for sustainability, as you said, is really important to me. I want to know that they're going to be here in a couple of years. I really love growing my people.
Yes.
I've had people who have started as a sales associate and now are managers. I have someone who started part-time. She's my training store manager. She's been with me for 6 years.
Wow.
So I really love retaining people, and I love to see them grow and grow the company with me.
Right. Well, and I think that's the most powerful thing is building a team that you can grow with. And that's every sustainable company, long-term, scaling, growing, whatever, you need that those core people that are going to be there with you. And I mean, like you, I've had staff with me that have or were in college when they came and are still here and are, you know, past graduating and all of that.
That's amazing.
So it's wonderful to see that growth and see where they're going in their careers. It's amazing.
Absolutely. I love it. And it's so empowering, as we mentioned before.
Yeah.
When people can be their best self and really achieve their goals, it is just amazing to watch.
I think I like that, you know, more than almost anything, like developing them and seeing that growth. And I love to see great outcomes for clients, of course.
Yeah.
But those employees have to grow in order to give those great outcomes for clients and your customers when they come in the store, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, it all starts with growing a great culture so that they can provide a great environment for anybody that comes in their sphere of influence.
Yeah, I agree 1,000%.
Sounds like you're really doing that. That's awesome.
It
Well,
is.
no wonder why you guys have been able to grow so much and do so many great things, like 6 stores and how many years? What, six or
So
7 years?
9 years. Yeah.
9 years. Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So more plans to open more stores?
Absolutely. We really want to get to 10 and then see what happens. In the retail world, it's really easy to open a bunch of stores and just, you know, like Forever 21 did it, but they just filed for bankruptcy.
Yeah.
So being really smart about where you open and how many stores you're opening a year is key. And we really are trying to grow slowly.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's the best way to do it.
Yeah.
So
Well, I think you can be very intentional about how you do things.
absolutely.
You know, and you can take your time and making sure that you're touching on all the key parts of that growth. So, and people's that's the foundation in making sure that that's all good. So you mentioned e-commerce, and you mentioned Forever 21. So let me ask you, like with seeing Forever 21 and their business model and how things have gone for them, I know like Fry's Groceries, they just did a layoff as well, and they're contributing a lot of that to Amazon. And so what do you think about Amazon and its impact on these businesses, our businesses potentially?
Yeah, that is a very loaded question, but I'm just
It is.
going to say, it is a struggle, and Amazon has provided so much, and you receive their products so fast.
Yeah.
It's easy. I mean, Whole Foods, for example,
Sure.
it's just all tied together. So it's challenging. I will say that, but I do know that brick and mortar will survive. In my stores, we offer an experience. We are so close with our customers. They come in, we know their names, we know their children, we know what they do on the daily. And, I want to say that retail is almost like therapy too, because these people come in to,
For sure.
yeah,
I love retail therapy.
I mean, yes, in that respect, but also they come in to let us know how they're doing, and we end up chatting with our customers for a while, and we have such a great rapport with them. So offering an experience in the real world is so much different than getting an experience off of like Amazon or Shopify or any of those, so.
That's a great example, and I think we all have to be thinking about that is, if you don't want to be in a competitive space with Amazon, you have to create a different experience. And what does that experience look like for your business? That's a great point. So maybe Forever 21 wasn't providing that great experience.
I don't think so. I mean, I think they opened too many stores, and then they started dividing their stores into clearance and sales sections where it was a lot of clearance merchandise, which, doesn't help your bottom line.
Right.
So they lost their flavor, I want to say. And I never want to lose that with Creations or Sky and Sand.
Yeah.
It's just so important. And I really think the visuals of the store are really important as well. I have a design build team, and we build all of our own fixtures. We really try to use a lot of wood from old buildings and just bring it back to life. So
I love that.
Yeah.
The whole recycle.
Yeah.
Oh,
there's a lot of intention.
Cool.
So
Oh, that's awesome. I love that. The whole idea that it was gone, but we're recreating it. Right? That's just the way of the world, right? We recreate things.
Absolutely.
Constantly as entrepreneurs. I love that idea. Okay, so going back to Forever 21, you know what? I was so overwhelmed every time I walked into that store.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody else felt that way, but it was just too big. So I think there's such thing as overwhelming your potential buyers. They have no idea where to begin. So we have to be really careful when we're working with our potential buyers or clients to make sure that we're not overwhelming them with all the different options that they have available. So
that is such a key point. You never want to make your customer feel overwhelmed. I feel like the world is overwhelming enough right now, and people want a safe place. So really having intentional products in your store, music that is suited to the people shopping in your store, people working in your store who can make people feel good. It's all just a synergy and an energy. So really try to incorporate that into the business.
Yeah. Well, I think that will definitely help the success going forward. The other thing that we were discussing before we were taping was the fact that we're kind of the first generation of entrepreneurial women. I mean, we have the Martha Stewarts of the world. We have a few other women that we can actually look up to, but we're really treading this water without a whole lot of role models. This is not an original idea, and I want to let you know this is a conversation I was having with other females, and they just remind me so often that, hey, you're a pioneer. And so being a pioneer in the entrepreneurial world, on your journey, Lisa, what would you say to those entrepreneurial women that are coming up to help them be successful in all their endeavors?
Well, I'm just going to say, don't think twice. If you feel something, you feel it in your heart, go for it. If you have an idea and you feel like it's even a male-dominated industry, who cares? Go for it. Don't be scared. If you are the black sheep of the industry, it does not matter. Just put yourself out there, go for it, because I am a true believer that when you align yourself with your purpose, success comes.
Yeah, that's an awesome quotable quote.
You can use it.
Yeah, we'll use that. But no, I totally agree with you. Coming up through the accounting industry and what we've done is very, very different from what the typical accounting or CPA firm world would have done as well. It is a little bit different. And so when you're different, you're definitely going to be, singled out. And but different is good because you are different. You look different. You act different. Things are different. So, and I think your customers are able to see that and reward you for that difference over the long term. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think another word of advice would be to lead with integrity and truth, because when you are aligned with those two things, you're so solid in yourself. You're so solid in your business plan. There's going to be bumps along the way, and people are going to question you, as you said, and you are going to be different than everyone. So to ride through the journey without feeling uncomfortable, it's really important to just live in your truth and know your business plan and honor it.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's the thing too. I don't know about you, but I've had times where like something will just shake me like to the core, and I'm like, wow, that like hit me out of nowhere. To emotionally and mentally come back and stand back up and go like, okay, tomorrow, today is a new day. I'm not going to focus on what happened in the past. I'm going to move forward. That's been probably one of the hardest things that I've had to do, but one of the things that I've had to do over and over and over and over again. And I think you probably can attest to that same, mindset.
Absolutely. And, at first when I started hitting those bumps in the road, it was a little shaky and a little hard. But, after a while, I knew that it was the universe giving me lessons. And I knew I needed to learn something more.
Yep.
And I remember going through all of those lessons. And now when that stuff happens, it's kind of easy to just ride through it, or I just kind of laugh. Like, wow, that shook me hard, and now I'm good.
I'm going to call you. I'm going to be like, Lisa.
You totally can. And it's good to have support, too.
Yeah.
That's another thing. Make sure you really surround yourself with a team and people who support your vision. Even if it's not aligned with theirs, get support from your friends, your family. Make sure you're talking things through. It's really good to voice what you're going through. You don't always have to listen to everybody's advice, but just to get it out on the table is really healthy. Yeah.
Well, I'm one of those that has to like talk it through. And so I can tell you that my girlfriends are probably so valuable, and my family too, just really, really valuable in being able to like think it all through and get it out, So that way you don't feel alone, and you feel like you are supported and there's people around.
Absolutely.
So, you're not alone.
Yeah, you're not alone. You are, but you're not.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. It's like, you do have a journey, and you do have a responsibility and a passion that you carry, right? That's your duty and responsibility to carry out in the world. And that's something that you live with every day, because that's part of who your purpose is and what you are,
Yeah.
And so you do carry that alone, I guess, but don't forget that there are other people out there that will support you and care about you as you're going through that.
Yeah,
right?
And it's much needed.
Oh, so needed.
Yeah.
It's so needed. So Lisa, you've shared a little bit about the plans for the store and the retail part of it. What else is in store for your future?
Okay, so I definitely am obviously continuing on with creations in Sky and Sand. So I really have a passion for that business. I really grew the business.
Yeah, I can see that it's like exciting for you.
It is, and I want to keep going. We were talking earlier, and I did mention that now that I am in the position I'm in as the retail director, my job has gotten so operational. On my mind always is how the business functions as a whole. Yeah. Sales figures, all the financials. I design stores, but that doesn't happen very often, so I needed an outlet for my creativity and for energy healing. healing, and that's why I started my own side business. So with that, I really want to continue on. In the future, I would love to have a showroom just to stage all of my props and just any sort of design inspiration. So that's in the works. And just really continuing on with what I'm doing. Right now, my business is basically under a wide umbrella. I do wedding staging, energy healing, interior design. I just started doing group healing sessions, so I was lucky enough to be asked to do tarot reading at the Joshua Tree House, the Posada. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that, but it's a couple who has an Airbnb called the Joshua Tree House in Joshua Tree, and they just
in California, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they just opened an inn on the west side of Tucson. And yeah, it's
cool.
beautiful. They're also interior designers.
Oh.
Yeah. And I was lucky enough to read tarot for all their guests at their grand opening party.
Oh, cool.
I read for 16 people in a row. I've never done that before. It was an amazing feeling. So really doing group sessions. I really want to start doing group astrology, tarot, and wellness for business. I think it's really important for people to have these tools in order to work as a team. So that's also on the horizon.
Cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, lots of great things coming from Miss Lisa.
Thank you.
Okay, Lisa, well, tell us how we can find you.
Absolutely. So I am on Instagram, and my handle is Lisa M. Warman, Warman.
Okay.
And my website is www.lisawarman.com.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, great. Well, thanks so much for tuning in to our Entrepreneurship Uncovered. If you like what you heard and would like to like and subscribe, we welcome you as a subscriber, and we can't wait to see you next time. Bye.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We do hope that you enjoyed this episode of Entrepreneurship Uncovered. Make sure that you're subscribed to our channel so you don't miss any new videos published every Monday and Thursday.